Coach, what was your impressions of Colton Hood like before he got here, and what are your impressions now that you've seen him out on the field for a couple weeks?
On tape, I guess starting from there, we saw an athletic player, that can actually be very versatile in playing different positions. He's didn't know anything about his personality when he first came on campus for the first time. Boy, you can tell that he could fit into our room just from a standpoint of maturity. He kind of commands the room with some confidence. Ultimate team guy. He's a team first kind of mentality. And then obviously when he starts working out with us, you see the movements, you can see the traits, and then he's taken that from the summertime with his teammates and bonded really well with our team, especially in the back end, connecting with everybody, which we wanted to see some leadership skills. And then obviously in camp here, he has really had a great fall camp up until this point. He gives us the versatility where, he can play corner, he can also play star, he can play dime, which he's doing.
With Boo being kind of in flux, I know Jim McMurray shifted over to the nickel. How much has Ty Redmond's ascension there given you a little bit of pad there as y'all figure out the front end of the secondary?
Say that again, I'm sorry, Austin.
How much has Ty's ascension and growth dating back to spring until now kind of given you all a little bit of a pad while you figure out, when Jermod will be back, what Boo's situation is, all that?
Yeah, again, Ty has had a really good spring. I mean, and he's right where he left spring. He's really tacked on here in the fall, showing a lot of consistency, playmaking ability. We feel really comfortable with Ty, what he's been able to do here, one-on-one situations with some of our great wide receivers, and he has a good command of our package, meaning he knows our scheme, he knows how to play to it. So you build the trust, obviously, within the staff and the players, and he gives us the versatility that I was just talking about with Hood. He can move guys around. Whenever you got guys that can play on the edges, like Ricky, like Jermod, those kind of corners, you have a lot of flexibility inside.
What have you seen from Jalen McMurray in terms of his growth from getting here last year until now, and how valuable is it to have someone that's versatile position-wise like he is? Yeah,
I don't want to sound repetitive, man, but the reason why we took him when we did take him is the same reason why we took Hood. First, yes, he's got to be athletic, he's got to be talented as heck, man, but he's got to come in that room and have the leadership skills to fit in the culture that we've built here, since we've been here. And he's done that from day one, and then now moving forward, now that he's obviously taken a really good shot inside playing star. He's got that ability because he had it where he came from. We didn't really play him as much last year. We didn't need to, even though he knew it. But again, he does a really good job of knowing where everybody's at, communicating with everybody. He's got great communication skills. He's really good in the meeting rooms. He gives us the experience that you want, just like very similar to what bringing Colton here, where he gives us the depth that we want, that we need.
At SEC, or at normal media days, we spoke with Ricky Gibson, and we asked him who the most competitive person on the team was, and not even just in the DB room, but just overall on the team, and he said it was Jalen McMurray. Do you agree with that statement, and what about his game is competitive?
Yeah, I think there's a lot of good guys, a lot of really good competitors in that room. I'm not going to disagree with it. Again, if he's not in, he's coaching, and I say that in the meeting room. You know what I mean? I mean, if we're sitting there trying to go through a scheme and stuff and talk about the ins and outs of the position, he's on this side over here. If he has a good awareness of the room, if it's a young guy that really probably doesn't know what he's supposed to do, or it's not coming quickly to him, he'll move his seat to get where he's got to be. Doesn't disrupt the meeting. Those are little things that again, the guys in the room can see that, and again, it's the culture that we've built here, and that's why it's those are the guys that we want to bring in here that kind of, again, they pour into the team first, before themselves.
Where do you think Ricky is better now than he was maybe at the end of last year and certainly at this time last year? Where do you see a difference?
Rick is extremely smart, always has been. You know, I'll say the skills, he's a lot better with the ball skills. He's really made a big intentional, you know, he's very intentional about being more, you know, improving his ball skills, the track and locate stuff. You know, you can see it when he's doing drills, maybe earlier in his first year or two, you know, he was dropping balls and drills, and now it's like it's a competitive thing with him. I mean, he'll catch it even if he's got a bad hand or a bad finger, you know what I mean? So from a skill standpoint, but his attention to detail, okay, very similar to what I just said about Jalen here. He's always been coaching the young guys, even when he's been a young guy, you know. He doesn't like, he does a really good job. He's smart. He got into a lot of plays last year at the end of the year as the season was going on. He was the most consistent, to be honest with you, on the edges. I know Jermod had an unbelievable year, don't get me wrong, and the plays he made were phenomenal. But, you know, Ricky, we leaned on Ricky a lot because, again, he's a guy that's, he knows the scheme, he knows it really well. He's been able to help Jermod last year, even during, because Jermod was learning the defense, but he's a lot smarter. He's more aware of what the safeties are doing. He knows what the, you know, how they work with each other, and great leadership, man. I mean, I really love that room, man. That room is built with some guys that have been around here and have taken it from some of the guys that have left here, whether it's been Tank or it's Alante Taylors or the Theo Jacksons, you know what I mean? You can see it in the room. It's running on his own gas.
Two more, Mike and Rob.
Yeah, with over here on this, to your right, with Jermod, how nice has it been to see him back out in the field a little bit? And are you encouraged by where he's at in his recovery?
Yeah, you know, when you made the comment about, you know, who's the most competitive person in the room, I can arguably just say Jermod McCoy. I mean, he's itching to do, you know, whatever it takes. He's always been that way. You know, but I'm not surprised where he's hit all the benchmarks, you know, to this point where he needs to hit. I mean, the guys feel it, they sense it. He's in our room, he's engaged. So it's not like it's like a one-time thing when, you know, saw him on the field, you know, doing some drills the last practice and, you know, fired everybody up, you know, to see him go through the individual drills. And but they see him also, all the things that he does in the room, you know, in a team room, and the energy he brings each and every day. It's exciting, it really is.
Coach, you guys have had a little turnover on the defensive staff, but you and Rodney and Coach Banks have some experience, some history together. How does that continuity help you guys at this time of year kind of speed things up? Or
Yeah, it always has, man. When you know, and Coach Hype's done a great job with our staff. You know, I mean, it really it starts with him and the coaches that are on this staff, and even when you elevate somebody or you bring in a new, you know, you bring a new guy, it's just like it just flows, and that's a credit to Coach Hype and knowing obviously Coach Banks for a long time and being a part of his life for a very long time, and obviously, you know, Rodney and I have been at the same, you know, been doing this it's 13, 14 years together, you know, so it helps, especially when you're on the same side of the ball, tremendously.
Thank you, Coach.
Yep. Thank you, guys. Appreciate it.